Hi, I'm Rumbi Monyoradzi, and I'm the author of Your Guide to Adulting. I had so much to say after my first book that I just continued writing. I've had great conversations with young people all across the continent about the challenges that they're facing as they navigate life after high school, at tertiary level, and now entering the workplace. This book is my effort to answer all the wide ranging questions that you have to make sure that you are ready to face life with confidence. This book is for boys and girls who are 18 years and older. And I really wanted to make sure that you've got something practical, sharing a lesson, giving you tools, and also reflection points at the end of every chapter. I believe you'll find it to be a very practical guide. But more than that, I believe that the value you'll get from it is as you discuss the concepts with your peers, your mentors, your parents, your teachers, all these people around you who are interested and invested in your success. As a mentor, I'm glad to be a part of this journey with you, and I want to unpack what we're going to cover in this book. It has five sections, and the first of those is creating a vision for your life. The foundation of everything we do in life as we become adults who embrace our place in society is deciding what is the role that we want to play. We all have different gifts and talents, and we all can contribute different things. The question is, what's your contribution going to be? At this age, you don't have to have a definitive view that's going to last you your whole life. But what we're trying to solve for is a starting point. As you go into the next level of life, whether that's tertiary level or work, the question is what's a good enough starting point that can sustain you over the next 3 to 5 years? Some of you might not have that. And I look at all the strategies that can apply to someone who is very clear on what they want and simply knows and simply needs a plan to get there, or others who need a little bit of help defining that. So we first start with defining what your vision is. Secondly, we then start looking at how to sustain your vision. The reality is, as you get older, starting is actually the easy part. Continuing and closing everything that you intend to do is where many of us face pressure. We're at risk of distraction, derailment, and discouragement. So I look at the tools that you can implement in your life to make sure that all of your plans come to fruition. Sometimes it's as simple as modifying your study tips. So, for example, when you move from high school to university, the tools you had at the beginning are not going to be good enough to sustain you for where you need to go. So we look at leveling up. Other times we need to actually identify areas of upskilling, or it can be more personal. Perhaps you struggle with self sabotage. There's so much to unpack, guys. This is just a little sneak peek. In the third section, we look at getting value for your time. How do you make sure that once you've gotten the grades, that you are presenting your personal brand, you're networking, you are in the right environments for your skills to shine? Life is not something that's just lived in a classroom or behind a book. You have to go out there and expose yourself to people who can make sure that you get the opportunities that you deserve. Fourth, we look at investing in yourself. I'm sorry to say, but even if you get a great qualification and great grades, your education is ongoing, lifelong, and continuous. The world is changing too much, whether it's to do with you being prepared from a personal development perspective, you learning about your mental health, learning about your physical health, learning about your spiritual well being. These are all things that deserve study. The same way that you would study for matric or a degree, you must also study your inner world. Likewise, with all the stuff that's happening with technology and politics, you also need to start understanding the shifts that are going to happen in the marketplace. That way, you'll be able to make sure that you have the career momentum that you need. Some of you might change jobs a couple of times, but also identifying investment opportunities because for many of us in the future, having a single income from just a job is not enough. We'll need multiple income streams. And the better you stay current with what's happening in the world, the more prepared you'll be. Fifth, we look at relationships. Relationships. Whether it's your friendships, your siblings, your parents, your dating relationships, your colleagues, your peers, everything worthwhile requires collaboration and partnership. And communication is the hallmark of that. This could be communicating your needs, setting your boundaries, having the tough but necessary conversations that either end a relationship or sustain a relationship to keep it healthy. These are important tools. Guys, we can't just go through life ghosting one another or trying to resolve important conversations through a chat. Let's use our words, let's show up in person, and let's have the confidence to have the tough conversations, the important ones that must be had. So, at a core, these are the five sections, but there's a lot to unpack in the 24 chapters. This is such an exciting journey for all of you. And through this, my goal is not to give you very prescriptive steps on what to do, but to give you the mental models so that you can be confident that as challenges arise, you've got a toolkit to face life. In closing, I'd just like to read a very quick excerpt from my book. And the bit that I'd like to focus on cuts to the core of why I wrote the book and the structure that I chose. So it goes: Adulting is your lifelong process for going forward to be all of who you are called to be. It will get messy and painful, and sometimes you won't like yourself. But you must pick yourself up to try again and try harder to live the life of your dreams. Others may not agree with you, support you, or understand the path you're on. The reason why I anchor this book around defining a vision is because when you are unclear and confident in where you want your life to go, others will distract you. They can discourage you even when they mean well because they're advising you either from inexperience or fear, or or they may not understand the path that you're on. Through all of this, only you understand what you're capable of, and your best life requires you to be a persistent champion of your vision. Talking of vision, I come back to mine, since this book is a product of my vision for all young people on the African continent to thrive and be truly creative about how they make their mark on the world. You are 60% of the continent's population. Your ideas, your energy, your vision are what will reinvent the way we do business, manage our resources, and protect the environment. We need you to care more than about the materialism that is so often promoted on social media. I challenge you to reflect on the important answers gained from this book so that you identify the talents, habits, and opportunities that will organically motivate you. A truly inspired person doesn't procrastinate when it comes to their vision. The challenge many of us have is we're often chasing ideals and goals that are inauthentic to us. Through reading this book, I hope that you'll not only identify your true voice, but that you'll come back to it as often as you need to refocus on what is true for you and to recommit to your genuine aspirations. Enjoy your life and have positive expectations for the transition into adulthood. Expect it to be great, but be prepared for it to get hard. This is the balance that I hope this book helps you to strike. So, as your mentor, I'm excited for you. I'm here to support you. And I believe that this book is the tool that will help you go from good to great. Thank you, and let's keep on connecting.